Okay, now we have to look at how to complete our task definition. The task definition is also the first 4 marks that you're going to get on your rubric. And you get those 4 marks by answering the 4 questions that they've asked you. Why are you doing the investigation? What is the focus and the purpose of your investigation? How and in what format will the information be presented? And who the target audience is. So, question 1. Why are you doing the investigation is where you need to explain your motivation for doing the task. Here, you need to elaborate on your interest or your business goal. Because take in mind, the task is asking you whether you're collecting as a hobby or whether you're collecting as an investment. Right. Now, what we can include when trying to answer this first question is explain why exactly you're conducting the task and what you're trying to determine from the information that you are conducting. Include the specific item you're going to focus on. They expect you now to think for yourself a little. They're not going to give you a focus. You need to choose one for yourself. So get items or an item that will be your focus that you can elaborate on. Also take note that when you want to explain certain things that might have unnecessary length to them, like if you wanted to talk more about the types of items you're collecting and get into product details, for example, then I would suggest using the parentheses, the brackets, because they save you, they just save you some space. And they look a little bit more professional as well. So the other thing that you would like to, that you should include in the first question is also the aim of your research. And when talking about the aim of your research, you want to explore on what you want to discover from this questions that you're going to use. And that's also going to elaborate more on why exactly you're conducting research on this specific item. Then we take a look at the focus and purpose. Now this year, they don't give you a focus. In grade 10 and 11, they did. This year, you need to choose your own focus. So you need to explain what exactly you're going to be researching and get more into the data that you're going to be collecting and why exactly. So yeah, you also want to state what the purpose of the research is. And in the end, remember, we're doing this so that we can post it onto a website. So you need to decide if that website is going to be a website for hobbies like blogging, or if it's going to be a website for a business where you can sell things on. In my task definition, I'm going the investment route. I've got a business that I'm going to put on my website. And therefore, I'm doing this research so that I can get more information on how to get the business to grow. So I'm going to list my consumer preferences. I want to make sure that I've got statistical trends that I've got evaluated, etc. These are things that I'm going to include in how I'm actually going to do my research, not just looking at the topic or the focus as the item alone, but the parts of the item that I'm going to break up, such as how am I going to do research on my items. I can do it through the websites that I've got on the internet or books, magazines, newspapers, or I can do them through, excuse me, just want to highlight that, or I can do them through surveys, like my questionnaire. And that's the whole point of this PAT, is to get you to do research using a website source and using a biological source person, right? So that you can see the difference in the answers that you get from them and the questions that you ask them. So you also need to elaborate a little bit more on what you are aiming your focus to be on. So here, when you talk about this question, you want to think already on what your focus question alone is going to be and elaborate on that. Next question is how and in what format will this information be presented? Now they have mentioned that you need a Word document, you need an Excel spreadsheet, Access database, and you need an HTML website. So you're going to include that in this answer. You're going to elaborate in a nice paragraph how you're going to use the Word report, how you're going to use your spreadsheet, your database, and in the end, create your website. Then you're going to have the last question. And here is your target group or your target audience. Same thing. This is who is going to use the information. So what they mean by this is, in the end, who are you creating the website for? If you're doing this as a hobby, then who are the people that are going to visit the website? If you're doing this as an investment, who are the people that might purchase the products on your website? This is a shorter answer. Here you can come up with 1, 2, 3 different types of audiences. You can talk about age ranges, or you can talk specifically about careers. There is a whole different variety, but it's going to be topic specific. The last thing about your task definition is that it needs to be between, well, it needs to be plus minus 300 words or at least half a page length. That will get you then your 4 marks.